indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I will call this regular Board of County Commissioners meeting on Tuesday, March 11th, 2025 to order. I think we're still having some issues with our sound, so we'll just try to speak up today. I will the chair will move to approve the agenda as presented today, striking item 5. The clerk and recorder's office does not have the Fort Orange Press information back from Fort Orange, so it would be through items 4.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And chair would move to approve the consent agenda, items A through J as presented. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So, public comment. Do we have anyone in the audience who would like to comment to the commissioners this morning on anything that they would like to share? Go ahead, come on up, just state your name and let us know what your thoughts are.
Sure, you bet. My name is Mark Graham. I live in Maybell. I understand that that you guys this morning are going to look to put another person on the board, the advisory board for Maybell Fire Department, the county entity. And we had a number of applications put in, and for the purposes of votes and having I guess a diverse board, would like to request if the county would consider putting 7 persons on that advisory board. So there's 3 applicants, so essentially putting the applicants in on the board, just for some diversity and some fresh ideas for the board.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else have any public comment they'd like to share this morning? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to general discussion. Either of the commissioners have any general discussion this morning? No? All right. So on our commissioners agenda, we have the Moffat County Tourism Association bylaws. We pulled that off of the consent agenda at our last meeting. We only had 2 commissioners to vote on that and was not in consensus. Also, the signature line was not correct. So I will entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve Moffat County Tourism Association bylaws revised 1/2025. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Motion carries. Next item is selecting a board member for the Maybell Volunteer Fire Department Board. We do have actually 4 applicants for that. A little bit of discussion there. The Maybell Fire Board is under the county commissioners at this point. Maybell has started a 501c3 fire board that'll stand on its own, or fire department that'll stand on its own. And so they will be creating their own board within that company. Sorry. Thanks for the correction. And so they'll be creating their own board that'll stand within that. So I think, well, I guess we can have further discussion on that, but I would say for me, I would say just appoint the one to continue with the process to get that transition going, and then they can, if they want a 7-person board in their bylaws for their company, then they could set that.
I don't know that we could even change it today anyway. We'd have to change our bylaws to go to a 7-person, then appoint those things. I don't think you could just appoint 7 today. You would have to go through the process of changing the bylaws to go to 7, then appoint those.
Appoint
So,
7.
I mean, I don't know how we could do that in this one meeting this morning.
Right. But they do have
Great
one.
idea. I mean, I think it's fine, but I think they can do that when they go on their own.
So they do have one opening, and they are still in the process of that transition. So what's your pleasure for appointing that opening?
Well, I'll make a motion to appoint Daryl Steele.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Daryl Steele for that opening. Any further discussion?
Thank you to all the, I don't, off the top of my head, don't know some of these guys that have put in for this, but thank them for putting in.
Yep, I agree. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. All in favor? Aye. All right. We have a public hearing at 8:45 for our March supplemental. So we will roll to Todd Wheeler, Office of Emergency Management. If we can knock that out before.
Good morning. So today we're requesting the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office and Emergency Management waive the bid process to purchase 8 of the dual band VHF 800 megahertz radios. The money was funded last year during last year's budget cycle. This would only amount to around 34,000 of that 50,000. That it's over the allowed costs or the maximum allowed without going through the bid. The purchase of these would be through the state bid process or the state pricing agreement with BK direct through them in order to reduce those costs without having to go through the bid process, and with only one sales provider in the state of Colorado. It limits us as to who we can also send it out to bid. So it's actually 2-part, one to approve the purchase and one to waive the bid process.
Okay. Any questions on either waiving the bid process for sole source or the recommendation? Any questions?
No.
All right. Chair will entertain a bid. First for the waiving the bid.
I'll make a motion to waive the bid process.
Okay, so I have a motion to waive the bid process for purchasing the wildland fire radios in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from First Responders Communication. Is that it? Correct. Okay. In the amount of $34,224.30.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I I didn't do it. All right, so that puts us at 8:40. We do have a public hearing at 8:45, so we will be in recess for 5 minutes. Thank you. You have to look on, under, and around things.
Actually, it's this over, but I didn't even look.
make comments. I will then ask the audience if there's anyone who wants to testify either for or against. Any interested elector of Moffett County may testify once the public hearing has been declared and all information has been presented. For those who want to testify, you'll be asked to approach the commissioners, state your name for the record, and you'll be given 3 minutes to present your case either for or against. Erin Miller will be the timekeeper today, and she will notify the BOCC and the speaker that 20 seconds remain before your time is up. No decision will be made during the public hearing. This is an opportunity for you to provide testimony in favor of or in opposition of the proposed request. Once all testimony has been heard, the public hearing will be declared closed and we'll go back into regular session. I will then refer to my fellow county commissioners to consider approval of the March 2025 supplemental budget and any associated resolutions. Okay, we're now in the public hearing.
So if it's okay, I'm only going to read the supplemental requests that are over 10,000. One, the Commissioner's Office requests a transfer of 45,000 from equipment vehicles to lease payments per the auditor's request. That's because it's not a capital item since they're leased. The Sheriff's Office requests to roll over $102,785.55 from equipment miscellaneous to be utilized towards outfitting of 3 new patrol vehicles. The Sheriff's Office requests to roll over $24,576 of employee education to be utilized towards employee education expenses. The Sheriff's Office requests to transfer $134,000 from equipment vehicles to lease payments per auditor's request. The Sheriff's Office requests an unexpected revenue of $14,647.80 from insurance reimbursement to equipment miscellaneous to be utilized towards repairs. The jail requests to transfer $15,800 from equipment vehicles to lease payments per the auditor's request. The Road and Bridge Department requests to roll over $191,628 from equipment, tractor, truck, and equipment vehicles to be utilized towards an equipment that was purchased in 2024, but we will not receive it until 2025. The Maybell Fire Department requests to roll over $19,894.93 from previous year's unspent funds to miscellaneous equipment to be utilized for future equipment expenses. The Human Services Office requests to transfer $14,000 from equipment vehicles to lease payments per auditor's request. The Public Health Department requests a downward supplemental of $196,350 due to withdrawing from the SAMHSA contract. The Natural Resource Department would like to request a transfer of $50,000 from legal to augmentation expenses. The Maybell Park Department requests to roll over $111,342.66 from previous year's unspent funds to miscellaneous equipment to be utilized for future equipment expenses. The Maybell Women's Club requests to roll over $21,069.14 from previous year's unspent funds to miscellaneous equipment to be utilized for future equipment expenses. The Moffett County Fair requests to roll over $145,475 from operating supplies to be transferred to the listed accounts under the county fair. And this makes an overall total adjustment of $1,228,741.12.
Okay, thank you. I will now, well, actually, do commissioners have any questions before I open it up?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will now open it up. If there is anyone in the audience who wants to testify either for or against the supplemental as presented. One more time, anyone else in the audience would like to testify for or against? Seeing as no one would like to testify, I will close the public hearing and refer back to my fellow commissioners.
Chair, I make a motion to approve, resolution number 2025-29, March 25th, 2025 supplemental budget.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I believe that does it. Right? Our next meeting will be on Tuesday, April 8th, 8:30 a.m. right here.
Get all that, Aaron?
Take notes.